Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another broadcast of Jerusalem's Gate. I pray everybody's doing well. Well, I have some terrible news, some very troublesome news coming out of Syria. This article is out of Reuters. Before I read this article, parts of this article, we do have a video that shows the damage and what's being done in the Ghouta area, and that's coming after I read parts of this article. Now, the UN had a Security Council meeting, and they voted unanimously for a 30-day truce to get medical help, medicine, and food into the area that's being bombed. Ladies and gentlemen, over the last week, over 500 people have died, including 120 children, just in the last week. Now, the blood of these 120 children lies on Assad, Russia, and Iran, because they're responsible for all this bombing that's being done without any consideration of people's homes, hospitals, clinics, and children and women, innocent women and men too. Let's go into the article. Iran says Damascus suburbs assault to continue as fighting rages. Beirut, Reuters. Iran said pro-Damascus forces will press ahead with attacks on an insurgent enclave near the Syrian capital as ground fighting raged on there in defiance of a UN resolution demanding a 30-day truce across the country. Turkey, too, said its military operations in another theater of war in the north of Syria would not be affected by the unanimous Security Council vote demanding the truce to allow for aid, access, and medical evacuations. Now, they're not going to abide by that UN resolution to stop. They're going to keep the bombing. They're going to keep bombing and killing more innocent women, men, and children. Now, what the second to last paragraph I'd like to show you before we go into, read to you before we go into this video. The latest escalation by Damascus and its allies has killed more than 500 people in the enclave over the last week, the observatory says. The dead included more than 120 children. My goodness, what is this world coming to? What is this world coming to where there's no regard of little children's life and innocent women and innocent men, innocent children? It's got way out of hand. I got a video here I'm going to play for you. I want to get it out. It's a pretty good, well-documented video. It shows you some of what's going on in that area.
As airstrikes batter Syria's eastern Ghouta region, the United Nations Security Council has approved a 30-day humanitarian ceasefire. The U.S. ambassador laying into Russia, an ally of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, for delaying the vote for several days.
Every minute the Council waited on Russia, the human suffering grew. We may not know the faces that we're talking about. We may not know their names or these people, but they know us. And we all failed them this week.
The truce does not include militants from Islamic State or Al-Qaeda and would allow aid deliveries and medical evacuations. But it's not clear what, if any, effect the ceasefire demand may actually have. Iran, who's backed militia groups supporting Assad, said attacks would continue on rebel areas regardless of the UN's demands. And there were reports of fighting on several front lines between rebels and government forces. Past attempts at a truce have also failed. The air campaign in Syria is at one of the heaviest points in the 7-year war. At least 500 people, including more than 120 children, have been killed in the last week. Dozens of hospitals have also been attacked, but the Syrian government and Russia say they're only trying to stop mortar attacks by insurgents.
My goodness, what is this world coming to? With that said, you're listening and watching another broadcast of Jerusalem's Gate. Amen.